Welcome to Slow Shutter, the podcast for photographers and wedding professionals looking to escape the pressures of the creative industry. So put your pen and notebook away and come hang out with your two besties, Cami Empey and Jade Jenkins. This is Slow Shutter.
It just feels so good to be famous.
Oh my gosh. You guys are crazy.
You guys have blown the podcast up. And
Hey,
you know what?
not complaining.
We are so grateful. We're almost to 10,000 downloads of the podcast. And that's insane because a week ago, 2 weeks ago, we were at like 1,500.
Yeah.
So we're so grateful for all of you for being here. We're so excited to have new followers and new listeners. And obviously, you should be here because we're the funniest and we're really pretty. So this is the podcast that you want to listen to anyways.
Exactly. I saw a TikTok that was like, it's just like a voiceover. We have to do this, by the way. But it's like, you're actually really funny. And then it was like, it's the actually for me. Wait a second. And so it's like, hey, you guys, we've been having fun on this podcast for almost a year.
Yeah. We're
And
actually a year in June. We'll do a little year anniversary. I don't know, giveaway.
Yeah.
I don't know. But we are really grateful to have all of you. And we are actually funny.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you guys figured it out.
I'm super excited that you're here and that you want to know all about the industry and the ins and outs and
The drama.
the not so drama.
Mhm.
You know, we cry together, we laugh together, we sing together a lot. So this is literally just the podcast to hang out with your best friends. So.
Literally. And I know a lot of you came here from the Scotland retreat from hell. And so we're gonna recap a little bit just from the last week, some things that have come out. Most likely we'll either bring the photographers who we originally had back on for like a little Q&A or something like that. We have other plans in mind, but
Right.
you know, we don't want to beat the dead horse. So let
Yeah.
us know what you guys want.
A few of the comments that were on our Instagram were like, oh, I don't have time to listen to like 3 episodes worth. So we're just gonna like just kind of nibble.
Yeah, like recap, like tell you what we've heard. Really big shout out to Photo Stealers.
Oh my gosh, yes.
This
That
girl
blog is dedicated to like exposing people.
She is doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, seriously. So if you haven't seen that on Facebook, there's a Facebook group called Photo Stealers, and this creator goes through and like really deep dives and writes out like it's like blog form of what we do.
Yep.
But really goes through and like writes out how these people like just exposes maybe potentially bad things are happening in the industry and people that maybe are quote unquote scamming. And so they went in and they just went day by day, kind of what we did, but like there's so many nitty gritty details that I was like, oh my gosh,
Well,
like
she
this
has
is
like
insane.
receipts in
Yeah,
there. She
screenshot receipts. Yeah, such a good article. So if you want to like go see like proof of what we talked about, get on there.
Get on
It's
Photo Stealers.
insane. She even shouted us out in the article. The very first paragraph is like, if you really want to listen to this, then go to Slow Shutter Podcast. And I was like, oh my God.
So we're just returning the favor.
Yes,
Go read
exactly.
this article. It like we didn't even know a lot of the stuff that she put in this article,
Right.
Because we kind of only heard about the Scotland retreat,
Right.
But she's putting stuff about this host that like is
Yeah.
from her past,
we
and
kind of tapered off at day 3,
Mhm.
but like day 2 of content shooting, and they actually had more days. It's just there was so much that by the end of us filming that, we were on that phone call for about 3.5 hours, and then we just decided like,
we're tired.
yeah, we're tired. But like there really wasn't as much drama packed into those last 2 days. However, there were some things that weren't
Yeah.
like they're in
weren't
the
said.
article, so we were going to touch on those really really quick, but like and I'm reading these pretty much straight from Photo Stealers.
Real.
But there was like various issues, and it was kind of touched on the podcast that day 3 when they got to the train station, she was like moving when they were arriving at the train station,
Yeah.
saying that the train station was changing the time of pickup, which is like that
And
doesn't
that's not a thing.
that doesn't happen. And like in this article, there's like receipts of the text messages that she's sending to work. Like, hey guys, the first set of rides will be there at 9:30. I'll need 8 people ready to go, and then I'll come back. The train leaves at 11. Like, so sorry, it's changing. The depart time is 11:16. Blah 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 blah. You know, it's like, or maybe you're just not doing your research right. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But yeah, so they went on that
Yeah.
Hogwarts Express day 3.
I thought that was day 4. I
Well,
guess
it's-
day 1 was technically travel day.
This is day three of
the
content.
retreat.
Yeah. Once again, they were promised that they were staying in the Isles of Skye in an Airbnb and ended up staying in Inverness. Sorry, I don't speak Scottish.
Scottish.
Staying in Inverness, which is about a 3.5-hour drive from the shooting location. Oh my gosh.
You don't even speak English.
I don't speak English, apparently. This Airbnb was very cramped and not nearly as nice as the first one from the beginning of their stay. The attendees are a bit miffed.
Miffed?
That's what it says.
That's hilarious.
When seeing Sarah's stories of a much nicer, more spacious Airbnb. So they got bamboozled once again.
And I looked up her Airbnb and was like, oh my gosh, it's huge. Like the one that she had her family and her stay in. So she totally could have like had people stay in that Airbnb with her. And side note, everyone, we reached out to her and she reached out to us and wanted to be on the podcast. We told her she could be on the podcast to tell her side of the story, and then we got blocked. So we are officially blocked with all the rest of you.
Do what you need to do for your mental health, girl. But we're totally willing to play the other side.
We are happy to give her a platform. So if any of you listening to this are not, maybe you're on her side of things, like please let her know we're just telling the story we've been told, and we haven't heard the other side.
But yeah, we're like you guys. We want to know the other side. Yeah. But just saying.
Now we're just filling in the blanks.
Why are we blocked?
Why to get blocked?
In the Scottish accent. Okay, and then so day 4 also they were saying that they were Shein dresses again. Due to the change of location for the Airbnb, attendees spent about 7 hours traveling to and from the highlands of the shoot. For the shoot, the photographers ended up arriving on site at 3:30 instead of 2:30. So another late schedule.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like pretty much the same story over and over and over again.
Like every day.
Yeah. We're gonna be late. You guys are gonna be starving. You're gonna get bamboozled.
Probably gonna yell at you.
Way. I think the moral of the story is that these attendees just felt like they were, like there was false advertising. You know?
Yeah. And so this is just like in the industry in general. If you're advertising something as luxury, it better be luxury. If it's not going to be luxury, don't use the word luxury.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that goes for people who are luxury photographers as well. If you're advertising yourself as a luxury photographer and then you go and do a crappy job for your couples, they're not going to be very happy about that. So
yeah,
this is kind of flipped in the sense that, you're a host to photographers, but you can't advertise that you're luxury and then give an experience that is half-ass and scary and sad and all over the place and messy.
One kind of new development is we are getting reached out to by several people who are either going to attend or have attended other styled shoots, and it's like some are mixed reviews and then others are like really quite worried about their upcoming events.
We had a friend who reached out and said this is completely like not even the same people, not the same host, nothing. She said that a host and the co-host didn't show up to their content day this year.
Yeah.
So there's other retreats that we could cover as well. We would be happy to reach out to those people and see what you did, but
it's insane. So Jade and I have been talking about this a lot. We think that in our industry that people who are getting in think there's like kind of milestones to the industry that aren't actually like they don't actually exist. Like so, for example, some people think like in order to make it, you got to have like 10,000 followers. That's like simply not true, right? But like there's not a chain of things you're supposed to do in order to be a successful photographer.
I actually got booked more when I had less than 10,000
I know,
followers.
yeah, I got booked way more. Like 2021, 2022, I got booked a lot and I didn't have as much internet clout as I do now, but
we don't even have that much clout. I can't imagine.
I just don't think everybody thinks that, hey, I've made it to 10K. I've got to start teaching people how to become photographers and how to do this. But it's like, no, that's not a requirement, And so you don't have to like get to 10K, start educating, put on workshops, put on content days.
Yes.
That's like not a requirement of those things. But I just think like a lot of people have in their minds like, I'm a photographer. I got to be in this space as well. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
you don't. You actually really don't.
All the big people that I love are educating. So that means that if I want to be where they are, I should be educating.
Right.
And Cami and I used to educate. We used to do workshops all the time. We used to have an online workshop,
Mhm.
and it was fun.
Yeah.
But there's like a lot of stress and anxiety, and like you have to put on a hat that maybe you're not ready for. And like,
Yeah.
I think Cami and I were ready for that for sure.
Yeah.
But we ended up taking a step back from it probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
personally feel so much better.
we decided to do this.
Yeah, we decided to do the podcast.
It was kind of, we sat down and we were like, the thing about Jade and I is that we think we are a jack of all trades for everything. And so we like,
We're a little ADHD.
yeah, we try to wear as many hats as possible at the same time. And so we were in the workshop and content day space. And we actually, like, it did fill our cup and we
Yeah.
were feeling happy with
I think
it.
we did a good job.
But like, we would always come out of them thinking like, man, oh man, I wish we would have done this. You know, like we kind of beat ourselves up about it a little bit.
We're perfectionists.
Yeah, and we would think like, you know what, maybe it's not the best idea for us right now, because at the time too, when we were in like the bulk of doing this, we were also we were both doing way more weddings.
Yeah.
And so overfilled our cups
Yes.
where we were like, oh, I'm just so busy,
Doing too
right?
much.
And like, so we decided that this was a better format to kind of get the same type of feeling, the same type of
Cup filling.
cup filling without having to like really stress ourselves out to
Yeah.
the point where we're like, where's that dress? We need to order this. We
And-
need to do this. Like, where's our attendees?
Well,
Like
and
all this stuff.
I'm grateful that all of the attendees at our workshops have always been really kind and really patient. But
Right.
again, like, I'm not tooting our own horn by any means. We also are really good at taking accountability because we are perfectionists.
Yeah.
So when something goes wrong, we are very good at being like, yes,
Mhm.
this was my fault.
Right.
And that's just something that didn't happen here. I'm also seeing that a lot of these people who are getting into the workshop space or getting into the education space, they're not ready for the conversation of people are going to copy you. And people are going,
Oh, yeah,
people
that's
are-
a whole nother thing.
oh boy, have I heard a lot about a specific person in the industry right now who has been freaking out at people for copying her.
yeah,
but
you're
she's
putting on content days.
she's putting herself in a space to be copied.
yeah.
Honestly, if you have a following, and this is like, maybe this is, you know,
Not a hot take,
maybe
hot
this
take.
is hot take, medium, lukewarm take. But if you have a following and if you go viral, people are going to copy you. I
Yeah.
have a little shoot that I did with a family that
Oh, the baseball
the
one.
baseball one.
So
It's gone
cute.
viral twice, and I have people in my DMs today asking me where they got their outfits, and like, that's fine with me
Yeah.
because that's kind of the price you pay to go viral.
Yeah.
And if you're putting yourself on the internet,
right.
you don't get to pick and choose who's taking your stuff and who's
Also,
not.
when I'm like picking out content days and workshops, I'm usually picking them out from people that I really look up to in the industry, and I'm like, hey, I
Good
kind of want to
point.
learn from this person. So if that's what's happening, if you are putting out content days,
So real.
typically the people who are buying the tickets to your content days want to be you, right? They want the success that you've
There's a
had.
reason that they look up to you. There's a reason they want to.
They want to shoot
learn
like
from
you.
you.
They want to edit like you. They want the same clients that you're taking, right?
Mhm.
That's what's happening. And so if you're not okay with that,
don't put on content. days.
don't do content.
Don't do
days.
education.
Yeah, like it's just not for you.
Mhm.
But like that's okay. You don't have to become an educator.
Well,
like
there's-
that's just part of it.
There's other ways to make money without educating.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people think those content days and workshops are potential money grabs.
Oh boy. Well, they are.
Oh, you are in for a rude awakening.
They're they're a money grab if you do it like this Scotland one.
Oh
for
yeah, if
sure.
you skip
you-
out.
If you cut corners, but they like we've probably done 5 or
Yeah,
6,
yeah.
and we usually walk away in the negatives.
Yeah.
So and really you're doing it correctly if you walk away with a couple thousand, but you're not walking away with 50 grand.
No.
And
no,
you shouldn't be. You shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Because this isn't a space to be selfish. It's not a space to,
yeah.
put yourself first when
Yeah.
you are taking care of a group of creatives.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to give them a safe space to create.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot.
This is coming from 2 people as well that are like, girl, get your bag. Like,
Straight up.
do what you got to do, right? Like, we are so for you making money in this
Mhm.
industry. Like, you have no idea. In fact, I am the type of person that, if I'm stalking you, in depth, and I find your packages are like kind of cheap, I'll be like messaging you
Shoot
and
you
be
a
like,
DM.
hey, love your work. Just wanted you to know You should like charge a little bit more.
You should raise your prices.
Because you're way too valuable to be charging something like that.
Totally
And
agree.
that's like me trying, and that's totally coming from a place of love, support. Like I'm not trying to make you book less.
Girls,
Like,
girl.
No,
Yes.
yeah, I'm like I want you to work less, make more.
Yes.
Like that's my thought on it. So anyway, that's just how I feel. We're totally like get your bag, make money. However, content days, workshops, just so you know, it's freaking hard. Okay, it's freaking hard to do it. You got to do it right.
Yep.
You got to really plan it out. You got to really think like, okay, I can't cut corners. So what's this going to cost where
Yeah.
I'm not going to cut any corners and be buying dresses from Shein,
Buying dresses
from Walmart.
And here's the other thing. We also have put on content days where we've purchased dresses from like Amazon and
Yes.
they get here and they're beautiful, but we like still spend like $200 on them. And
Yeah, they're kind of
like
spendier.
they're like spendier. It's not like we're going and buying $1,000 dresses that we're going to go ruin.
No, but we usually rent
Yep. We
From-
rent dresses
from
from
bridal
from-
from bridal places, you know,
Yeah.
like people with the bridal closet.
we try to support small businesses.
Yes.
But you know, those content days that we're putting on that we're buying these cheaper dresses for, we're not getting paid as much. Like we're charging
Right.
maybe $400 a ticket instead of $4,000 a ticket.
No, yeah.
And
That's
so-
so $4,000. If the word luxury is in the title, I'm expecting something straight out of Bridal Magazine.
Like straight up.
Yeah, I'm like, I want the hairstyle like to look,
I want-
old money. I want the dress to look like it's coming
Yes.
straight off the sewing machine from
I want the
a little
dress to
seamstress.
be walking out of
Yes.
the wedding dress store.
I want to hear "Ah," when I see the bread.
I want the world to glow.
Exactly. No, that's what I imagine. But if you're kind of like marketing something more like a vintage Western type vibe,
Yeah.
then my mind is gonna paint like, okay, maybe this will be kind of more of like a vintage secondhand dress, which I'm actually like that's
Yeah,
something
it's super
I'm excited about, right?
Yeah.
But that's the point. You
Yeah.
market that, right?
Like we are going to do a vintage.
what you
dress.
show, and like, oh, here's a hot take. I'm trying to think.
Cammy's on the soapbox.
Let me take the mic. I have a mic.
It's in front of you.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I got it. I just think what's our opinion on mood boards?
Okay. Actually, you mean like taking people's photos and using them as a mood board, or just like
Maybe
having?
not that specific. Maybe like having a mood board. Like, is it detrimental to your marketing to have a mood board?
You mean the time that we drew stick figures on pictures as
So,
our mood?
okay, okay. Let's get to that. But I'm just saying, I'm thinking in the sense it's like, okay, I'm looking for a content day. I'm looking for a retreat. I'm a newer photographer. I've never been to one. Okay.
Yes.
I'm looking at a mood board. And this mood board has like, you know, it's a mood board. It has a dress, a location,
Florals.
the florals, the headband, the
decor,
the
yeah.
decor,
Yes.
the full-on suit for the
The
group.
vibes. Yeah.
All the vibes, right? My mind, the mood board equals what's going to be at shoot.
I agree.
Okay.
Yes.
Not just pretty picture
To make you book this
that
ticket.
makes you book ticket.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's our opinion? Like, should people be using like full on, if you're not planning on bringing, like, for example, you put in the mood board real flowers, real,
Yes.
they will die eventually. Okay.
They're gonna
Real
die
flowers.
after this shoot.
Okay. And then you bring a fake bouquet. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be like, what the frick? That's not
It's not what
the
was
mood board
advertised.
said, right?
Yes.
So that's where I'm going with this. Like,
It's kind of like
should the mood boards include anything that you're not planning on putting in?
it's kind of like when you see the McDonald's commercial and the hamburgers look so big and juicy and golden, and then you
Mhm.
get it and it's like flat. It's like
Facts. Yeah.
flat, kind of dingy.
Here's another example. So say like the vibe is like old money, and the like, you know how scarves are really in on wedding dresses right now,
Money,
right? Say the dress is like exactly what the
Yes.
mood board said, but it didn't have the scarf or the gloves or something. I'd be like, what the heck?
Yeah, I would definitely riot in the streets.
But like, I probably wouldn't say anything in the moment, but I'd just be mad internally.
So, note on that, I saw a comment on one of our reels that was like, listened to all three parts and I'm like so obsessed. However, I think that the photographers who didn't say anything at the retreat are in the wrong as well.
yeah.
So, and I was like, good point, because they mentioned a few people, and I'm not like bashing on anyone by any means. Like,
Mhm.
I understand being in this situation, how hard it would be to like be in a different country and be in this situation and not
Yeah.
know how to react.
yeah.
And some people are introverts. Like
Yeah.
Cammie and I are a little bit more outspoken than the average Joe. But I think that this commenter was trying to get to the point of like, well, if you had a bad experience, like it's your fault.
Speak up.
Like speak up. And a couple of them did, which is why Reese is in the situation that he's in right now.
Yeah.
But what the problem is that now this host feels like she has people on her side that probably aren't. And because they just stayed quiet. But not saying something is taking a side. Like not picking a side is picking a side.
Yeah, that makes sense too. But Jade and I, back to our little story.
Sorry,
Jade
ADHD.
and I. No, it's okay. Jade and I, we had a content retreat that we were like, okay, well, we're definitely not stealing people's photos to create a mood board. Like that's just not the vibe.
Which, by the way, I have a really big opinion about this because I understand like if you yourself don't have the specific photos that you're going for using pictures, but you should be reaching out to the photographers and to get their permission.
Yeah.
Don't go on Pinterest and make a mood board and then post it.
Exactly.
To like sell tickets. I understand. I also understand using a mood board for like minis. People get really mad that people are selling their minis with mood boards too.
Yes.
I don't know how to feel about that one. I feel a certain way about selling a mood board for a content day, and I think that you should have your own photos or do what me and Kenny did.
So we just went on like Google Maps. And like we stick figure drew like
in the locations.
Little couples. When we had like we had a same sex couple, we like drew two brides. Like, this is where they're gonna be, and we sold out to the content. Probably because they were like, these idiots, they probably need help.
Weird.
It's so weird.
We're like, we're not stealing, but this is the vibe.
But yeah. So, and I've been asked before on my Instagram page, like people have messaged me, can I use this picture for promoting my content day? I always say yes.
Yeah.
1. 2, I do ask though, if it's within means, could you just post directly like my post? Can you just post that directly on your story?
Oh yeah, so it's like directly linked to your
so that
profile.
so that people can tap on it and just like know that it was me.
That's a good.
So that's usually what I ask for. If they say like, oh, I'm trying to put together like a mood board, I'm like, that's totally fine. Just make sure you tag me on the story, and that's like all I ask for. But
but we're nicer than most.
Yeah,
I know a lot of photographers who will rip you to shreds for asking them, so I get that it's kind of scary to ask. But the worst they can say is no.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? I'm on that boat where I'm like, I'm putting this content out there. I gotta be okay with people like wanting to recreate it.
Totally.
That's like just the fact of the matter.
Exactly what I was just saying a minute ago. And here, this is my official permission for any of you to take my photos and use them as a mood board if you would like. Just put my name on it. I don't really care. You don't even have to ask. Please don't DM me.
Please, thank you. Please, thank you.
Just do it. Just tag me, but you don't even have to ask for permission. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Anyways, so yeah, that was a lot. I feel like we kind of like bounced all over the place.
Yeah.
We are going to come out with an exclusive episode on the Patreon talking about how to run a workshop, how to work with, bad reviews. So that'll be over on the Patreon. The link's in our bio. Make sure you subscribe. It's only $12.
Right. And to run through the Patreon really quick, we are going to be posting episodes that really go into deep diving about marketing and how to run your business, creative shooting, storytelling, all those types of things. So we want to just put that out there that the Patreon is a space that we are educating in. Like I said, we love to educate. Our podcast is more just a funsies. You're hanging out with me and Jade. So, just so you know, our Patreon's very much more in depth. Like you will want your notes or your notepad and your pen.
Take the notepad. Take the notebook out.
Yes.
Again.
Yes. So yeah, please join our Patreon. It's gonna be so fun. We're so excited to have you there as well.
But yeah, so stay tuned. We are not done talking about the Scottish retreat because as much as you guys love it, we love it as well. So we will have a couple more guests on the podcast. We're thinking about coming out with another episode. Yeah. So let us know. Shoot us a DM. Leave us a little comment if you'd like to hear anything specific. We've had so many messages this last week, and we're so grateful for you guys.
So fun.
It's really fun for us, and we love all of you and all of your support. So we're glad you're here. Hopefully you stick around after the drama settles down.
Yes. We love you. Bye.
This has been Slow Shutter with Cami Empey and Jade Jenkins. See you next time.